Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'll be sharing with you guys my experience transferring from UCSB to UCLA, and I have printed my whole application and I'll try to share all the important things I think with you guys today, and hopefully this is not too boring. So let's go. First thing, a lot of my subscribers on my blog have asked me questions about TOEFL score, and I think this is under the section of citizenship and residency, and there are 3 questions in the section. The first question is, by the time you attend UC, will you have graduated from a California high school? And I said yes, because I graduated from a high school in LA. And the second question is, by the time you attend UC, will you have attended a California school for 3 or more years during grades K through 12? And I said no, because I didn't come to California to study until my junior year in high school, and that was only 2 years. And the last question is, by the time you attend UC, will you have attended a combination of California high school, California adult school, and or California community college for the equivalent of at least 3 years? And I said yes, because 2 years of high school plus my freshman year at UCSB by the time I applied, and that was 3 years. So I believe that's why they didn't ask for my TOEFL score. Let's say if you didn't come to California to study into college, then by the time you apply, you would only probably have 1 year of experience studying at California. Then you will have to submit your TOEFL score. Okay, my battery just died. I'm back. Well, the only school I chose to apply to is UCLA. You can probably see it here. And the major I chose to apply, the first major is applied math, and the alternative is pure math, which was my major at UCSB. And there's just my college transcript, and my GPA by the time I applied was 4.0, and I think I transferred in total 121.5 units, quarter units, and the unit cap at UCLA is 129 quarter units, and at UC Berkeley is 120 units. So that was one of the reasons I couldn't apply, but there are more important reasons I'll talk about later. One of the most important things during an application is you need to meet all the minimum requirements, and under the minimum requirements section, there's a question asking about general education requirement. And right now, this is my latest version of my application, and I said yes. But in the application I submitted in November, for the question, did you complete the UC general education requirement? My answer was no, because I haven't finished all my GE requirement at the time. But you can update your application later on during the year. So once I finished it, I updated it on my application. But I know a lot of my friends who also transferred to UCLA, they didn't finish their GE requirement before they transferred. So I don't think it will affect your application that much. And next part is the activities and awards, and I did a lot of random things during my college, and I just put in everything I did, so it's gonna be a lot, but I will share everything with you guys, and hopefully it's helpful. So the first part is award or honor, and I put in UCSB honors program, and my team also won the best beginner project on the UCSB Women Hackathon 2019, so I put in that too. And for the volunteer and the community service, I was in CalPERC UCSB for almost 2 years. CalPERC UCSB is a non-profit student org, and we work to protect the environment, make college more affordable, and promote civic engagement. And I was in environmental protection campaigns mostly, so that was what I did. And I was also in science track for a quarter, in which I helped elementary students design physics experiments and explain to them why this is happening, and also help them finish the experiments. And about the work experience, I was a math tutor at a private tutoring institution for 2 years during my college, and I was a research assistant at UCSB English department, and we were working on a project with UCSB Environmental Studies department, and we were creating a series of educational videos on climate change, and I was doing the translations from English to Chinese. And I was also a front desk attendant at my residence hall for 2 quarters. Because of COVID, I went home. And I was also a note taker for UCSB disabled students program, so I just really literally put in anything I did. So that was my working experience. And for the extracurricular activity, I was at UCSB Data Science Club for more than a year, UCSB Math Club for 2 quarters, and UCSB Chinese Debate Club for 2 quarters. And this thing is probably what I'm most proud of on this application. I started my blog on WeChat a year and a half ago, and by the time of this application, I had 552 subscribers on my blog, and right now I have 1,200. And it's just heartwarming to think so many people that you have never met are willing to read what you have to say, and it just makes me happy. Okay, finally, it's the last part of my application, which are the essays. So there are 4 essays in total, and the first essay is what everybody has to write, and for the rest 3 essays you can choose out of 7 different topics, and I'll talk about each of the essays I wrote during my application. Honestly, this is still a very confusing question for me. So I talked about how my perceptions towards math major have changed throughout my college life. At first, before I entered college, I just thought, okay, I love calculus, I like math, I like numbers, so why not math major, right? But after taking a few math classes at UCSB, I realized, okay, that's not what math is. So I talked about my experience at math club, and I talked about how I started learning proofs, and how that gave me a total different experience of what math is, and how I found I'm still so much in love with math, and how much more beautiful math is than what I thought math was. And I also talked about the physics classes and the programming classes I took to help me prepare for my upper division math classes. So that was my first essay. And for the rest 3 essays, I would definitely recommend you guys to download the brainstorm sheet from the UC application website and carefully fill out all the questions, because I think that really helped me to see what I have to say for each question. And out of that 7 different questions, I picked 5 questions that I have something to say, and I wrote all 5 of them. Then I picked 3 of my favorites, and I just kept editing those 3 essays until I was completely happy with it. Then that was that. So in this essay, I talked about my blogs, and when I first came to US as an international student, I went through a lot of difficulties because it was hard to get used to a new educational system and a new language environment at the same time. So when I started my blog, I was just trying to help people and share my experience to others, and hopefully that'll make their studying abroad experience easier. So I shared a lot of study tips, how to utilize your school library and school resources, and also some living tips like local restaurants reviews and packing tips, stuff like that. So in this essay, I talked about how to balance work, school and personal life when having 3 jobs, taking 6 classes, teaching my brother English, and regular volunteering at the same time, because that's what I did for my fall quarter and winter quarter during my 2nd year. And I didn't know why I did it. Actually, I do. I was very interested in a lot of things, and so I applied to a whole bunch of stuff, and then I just got accepted for a lot of things. Then I just started doing it, and without realizing how overwhelming it could be, it was very difficult to balance everything at the same time, and I was still kind of struggling at the end, but I found my way to like prioritize the things I have to do during the day, and not to overwhelm myself with everything, just take one step at a time. And that was pretty much my strategy. And for the last essay, I chose, and in this essay I talked about my experience in CalPark. I was in 2 different campaigns. One is plastic free, the other one is 100% renewable energy. And I talked about my experience doing pledge drive, and my experience doing faculty canvassing. And in the additional comment section, I explained why I wanted to transfer to UCLA. So basically, the most important reason for me to transfer to UCLA was that my brother is going to study in a high school in LA next year. So I just wanted to be there for him, you know. Okay, I think that's it. But in summary, I wanna share with you guys what I think are the most important things during transfer. GPA is essential. A higher GPA is gonna make you more competitive. Plan your schedule wisely to make sure you finish all the minimum requirements and do not exceed the unit cap. Fulfill the requirements for a specific major and try to take all the pre-major courses. I think for math major, we have to take linear algebra and the sequence of multivariable calculus class. You can find this information on transfer guide or department website. Be involved, enjoy college, keep track of all the extracurricular activities you did in detail so you'll have something to say on your application. Also, I know it's gonna be hard to keep up with the schoolwork while trying to transfer, but college is a great time to figure out who you are and who you want to be, so just go and explore.
点赞、投币、转发3连！好啦。